Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Carter Hall. Welcome to another episode of the What Really Happened podcast. I've got my friend Matt Long again to talk about UFC 283. Matt, how's it going, my dude?
Oh man, it feels good to be here once again to open up the new year 2023. It's actually our first one of the new year, so I'm pretty excited for this one, Carter.
I know I'm pretty excited for it too. Um, sorry, I'm pretty excited for it too. There's a lot of great stuff just in the first few weeks of this new year. We've got a lot of amazing things going on. It feels like there's something new every day when you wake up in UFC going on or in the MMA world as a whole. What do you think? Am I the only one?
Uh, whew, just the fights that they have like prepared for us like later on in the year. It's like so many stacked main events that are heading our way, whether it's the pay-per-views or just regular fight night. They are stacked.
I know there's a lot of stacked stuff going on. It seems like just I don't know who's making these fights to be honest with you, but whoever they are, kudos to them because it feels like they're just making great stuff left and right. I'm pretty excited for a lot of stuff that are coming up. That's you said fight night or different stuff. From all the way just all the way down from the top bottom, everything's going good so far. Even the rumors sound pretty cool. I think that I've been hearing. What do you think?
Uh, all I know is that when I hear rumors, I'm like, just make it happen already instead of making us wait. Like we want to know, we want to know the actual news of what's going on, like who's fighting who or who's making their return. I'm still psyched for John Jones's return, but that got announced, and like, man, that is gonna be one heck of a fight when he fights Cyril Gahn at UFC 285. I know we're jumping ahead two pay-per-views over what we're about to talk about, but man,
I know. I felt like with John Jones, I'm just so excited. I'm like, I wish if I can have like the that Back to the Future time machine, kind of thing. Just go to the future a little bit. Just watch that fight already and come back and like, okay, guys, it's true. Finally, I think the only thing that would help make it official is Bruce Buffer announcing the weights and everything like that. That's the only thing that's going to make it official for me, I think. I mean. That's one fight. I think I want to dive more into this later, but I think that's one fight I'm for sure, I really want to happen.
oof, man,
That's something
yeah, I
I
got
think you and I
chills.
dive into pretty regularly on this podcast. I think if anything, you and I are the two big advocates for this match. Originally started with Stipe and John Jones, and some things I guess happen. Now we got Cyril gone, right?
Yeah,
And John
Cyril
Jones.
Gahn.
That's something I felt like kind of came out of left field. Everybody wanted Steve. Cyril Gahn's not a great fighter. Don't get me wrong, but I think John Jones. I think was it and Stipe. I think or Francis would have been a dream fight. I think. What
Oh
do you think?
man, uh, I think it will be a pretty good fight. Like it just depends how Cyril Gahn does on his wrestling because John Jones is really good in like all types of like fighting stages. You got the striking that he's pretty good. The grappling he's good. He's good on the ground, like submission wise too. He submitted a whole bunch of people. They call John Jones the GOAT for a reason, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the heavyweight division.
No, I'm pretty excited too because I feels like we see John Jones fighting. I've heard. I think people say for his whole career he was a light heavyweight. Obviously, but um, I heard people say he used to train with heavyweights still, and like sparring and everything like that. So. I'm pretty excited. I think just with him, his first, legit fight. I don't know if you saw this, Matt, but do you know who Ariel Helwani is?
Yeah,
So I watch his shows every so often, the MMA Hour, and he was talking about that, talking about how, um, like there was, I think, whenever the John Jones and Cyril Gahn fight was announced, that there's a picture going around. I didn't see it until after the fact. I heard about it, but there's a picture going around talking about how like at is it T-Mobile Arena they're gonna be fighting at?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah, I think I can't speak. The T-Mobile Arena. I'm so excited for this fight if you can't tell. I'm speaking fast. But I think whenever this fight, there's pictures going around saying that or a picture going around on the internet saying that there's already a picture of John Jones and Cyril Gahn on front of the thing, and I'm like, man, it looks crazy. It just looks crazy
I
going
saw
around.
that.
People thought it was photoshopped, and I was like, man, I hope it's not. And then video footage came out of about it, and I'm like, and then I think, I believe, I may be wrong, but I think you sent me something on Instagram talking about it, about the fight being a festival, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm so excited for this fight. I'm just so stoked for it.
Yeah, and then we're also in for another treat. After the John Jones and Gone fight comes UFC 286, and I think you know where I'm going with this, Carter. We're
I think so
heading to
too.
the trilogy fight
Yeah, that's
between
gonna be a crazy fight.
Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. It's gonna be wild.
The roof on that arena is going to explode when that match goes on for a third time, the trilogy fight, I'm going to be this year, it felt like Dana White and the matchmakers have finally fulfilled everybody's dream matches. I thought Khabib and Conor was a dream fight, but 2023 is just coming in, it feels like, with all of these great fights. We got possibly at 283, I don't know, 280 in March we got John Jones and Cheryl Gahn for the title, for the vacant title, heavyweight title. They got the trilogy between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. Talk about two fights in the same year. They're just homers back to back. I mean, you get one fight a year, I think people are glued to, but when you have two back to back, I'm like, oh, that's just so crazy. What makes you excited about that fight between Leon and Kamaru?
Just like the mindset on both fighters, like Kamaru Usman for sure because he lost his title due to the head kick heard around the world type of storyline. And like he was on a winning streak, and then once you lose that winning streak, you have to start over. You have to have a different mindset. And his coach Trevor Whitman is one of the best in the business, and we're gonna see how he overcomes this London crowd that they're about to head to, which is Leon Edwards like home and stuff. And like Leon Edwards' mindset, he's like, I gotta defend this belt now. Since I won it the first time, I gotta defend it again against the same guy that I just beat him to
Yeah.
get that I just beat to get that belt.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty excited for that fight too, just for the same reason. I mean, it's in London. I mean, that's like, Leon's stomping grounds, like you said. I mean, what else could you ask for if you're Leon Edwards to be a champion walking back into your home country and then you're fighting against possibly one of the best two to ever done it, in the form of Kamaru Usman. I mean, I think excuse me. I think whenever because I go back to watch like you said, the kick around the heard around the world whenever excuse me, Leon knocked out Kamaru Usman. Um, that was a pretty exciting match. I mean, if you were to go back, it's such like one of the best, I think, calls in possibly all of sports. When you listen to John Anik go back, it feels like it gives me goosebumps kind of thinking about it. If you go back and listen to it, John Anik goes, you know, I think he said something along the lines of like how Leon's not the one to give up. He's not cut from the same cloth. And right when he says that, you see Leon throw that head kick and knocks out Usman. I'm like, that's got to be one of the best calls I think in all of sports. And the fact that they're gonna run it back a third time in London, that's what makes me excited is to see how the crowd is going to be. That's what I'm excited for.
Like it was just like perfect timing. And then like Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier could not believe what they just saw after that, after what they just said.
Yeah,
And
I
it
feels
just
like
happened like that.
yeah, it's so crazy how things happen in the UFC. Like you said, things just happen like in the blink of an eye. It can all change. One head kick can, you can lose your championship in a swift head kick. You never know. You never expect it. It's just that simple. I mean, it's not that simple, but it's just that quick. I guess I'm trying to say, it's just so quick. I've seen crazy stuff happen. That's like happened so quickly that you didn't expect. I mean, like you said, excuse me, DC and Joe Rogan, I think they said like they're already writing Leon off because that's in the fifth round. The fifth round is about to be over. Like they said something along the lines of like, I think DC says like, oh, we were writing his obituary already. Just so crazy that
Yes.
like they were like they thought he was done. Like there's no chance. He wasn't gonna win the match on a decision or anything like that or by the judges. There's no way he was gonna win that match. So he had to go all out and uh have a knockout or submission. That was the only way he was going to win, and he found a knockout and did it like chef's kiss. Like he did it like right when he needed to perfection.
Yeah, perfect placement, everything.
Yeah. So are you looking? Let me ask you this: Are you looking forward more towards the Leon and Usman fight, or are you more John Jones and Cyril Gahn? Like, are you? I know they're both exciting fights. I'm looking forward to both of them, but are you leaning possibly like one? Like, are you looking forward to more one or the other? Or are you more neutral?
Gosh, I just don't know, man. Like I've been wanting John Jones back for a long time, and I've also been wanting the trilogy fight like ever since it happened, like back in August of last year. Like I have no idea. Like I feel like I'm neutral at this point. I don't think I'm leaning towards any side. I'm just looking forward to those back-to-back pay-per-views when they happen. March comes soon and April comes soon, please, because we are ready for what's about to happen.
I know. I felt like that Drake song should be playing right now, going back to back. We're going back to. I felt like that's what we're be playing right now. I felt like we got two pay-per-views. Like I feel kind of spoiled as a UFC fan, and all honestly, I mean, two pay-per-views back to back. They're just no pun intended knockouts. Like that are. I think everybody's looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to. Like you said, I'm looking forward to John Jones repeat. I think I read somewhere unbelievable stat saying that he's been gone, gosh, for over 1,000 days out of the UFC or something like that. And it was like, gosh, it's been like 3, 4 years ago, I think, or maybe more if he had his last fight. I'm just so excited to see him back. Like as I don't know, but then again, I'm excited to see the magic that Usman and Edwards has. I think for me, tell me what you think about this. I want to hear your 2 cents on this too. I think to dive more into it, we keep talking about Usman and Edwards, but for me, do you think if Edwards goes in to the trilogy fight in London and wins, do you think this solidifies his legacy more, or do you think he's already had that with a head kick?
I think it solidifies his legacy more. Like if he beats Usman again, then there's gonna be like whole different monsters out there after Usman because Chimaev is still waiting in the wings too, and you know Chimaev is waiting so long to get to that like title shot that he's always wanted.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's a pretty good point. I mean, I think, oh gosh, I think that you said the same, like right on. I think you hit it, said it right on the head. I mean, um, yeah, I think with you said Maya or Ty. Oh, excuse me, I can't speak today. I think Edwards. I think I'm kind of looking forward towards the outcome of it too. I think a little bit more, like whatever happens after. I'm pretty excited to see what happens like after who wins. If Edward wins, what's my mic's falling off. Kind of see like excited for if Edward wins, what's next, or what if um Usman regains his title, what's next for Usman? Does he keep going forward? That's what I keep thinking. What do you think?
I mean, like either way, I think like if Usman wins, I think there's gonna be a new force out there. Chimaev, um, um, I think Bilal Muhammad, but he would have to win one more fight
Yeah,
before a title fight. And then like there's a lot of like deadly forces out there that are like in the lower rankings. I could like climb up to the tops too. So I wouldn't sleep on those guys as well. So there's gonna be more contenders like coming to the welterweight division pretty soon.
I think so too. I think there's got to be a force too moving forward with Usman if he wins. I think he's. I think. Do you think? I think. I think they both been in that situation. I think the last thing that I think early days of Leon Edwards, I think people may remember him as is the whole thing with Jorge Masvidal happening, the three piece in the soda kind of thing. To the fact that now he's a
Yes.
champion, it feels like that's really his popularity has really risen, and his force has really risen. But I think with Usman, I think he's used to the lights, those bright lights, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe I could be wrong in saying that, but I think when he goes into those lights, I think who knows what's going to happen. It feels like I'm just excited to see what happens to that division after the fact. Because it can either throw a monkey wrench into it, or something else can happen. Or keep going forward. I'm kind of excited to see what happens after that.
Yeah, that is true.
But man, UFC 283. But that's down obviously that's down the future. All those fights. That's later in 2023, which I think you and I are going to be talking more about when those pay-per-views come about. But but there is indeed a pay-per-view this Saturday and tomorrow. As of this recording Thursday, but it's Friday when you're watching this. So
Yes.
tomorrow, what do you expect for UFC 283? Because there's some big fights even in that pay-per-view too, you know. From prelims to the main card. Is there anything on the prelims that you're like just wanting to look at? You can't wait to watch?
Just rising contenders. I haven't had a chance to look at the prelim card, but there's always rising contenders when it comes to the prelims. So like I'm gonna keep an eye on those for sure.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I kind of excited for that one too. Excited to see that. For the main card, I mean, we're not gonna without getting into the co-main and the main event yet. Is there anything else on them other than those two that you're looking forward to?
There's two fights that I'm looking at for the main card. You got I think it's the flyweight or strawweight division of the women's. It's between Jessica Andrade, the former champion, versus Lauren Murphy, the former title challenger.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, but that would be a pretty good fight too, I think. I mean, I saw that yesterday when I was looking at the card, or a day or two ago as this was recording. But yeah, I think I saw that. I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of stuck out too. I'm like, kind of when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that fight. I think that those two, I think, are gonna go in there and just have a war. I think too. But yeah, you said it's either a flyweight or strawweight.
It's either flyweight or strawweight. I think it's flyweight.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say too. Isn't I could be wrong. Isn't there a vacant? I may be just all over the place today. I'm sorry if I am, but isn't there a vacant title somewhere in some division?
Yeah, it's the main event for UFC 283.
Okay.
It's the vacant light heavyweight. Because remember what happened at UFC 282
Yes. Okay.
where
Yeah. Yeah.
Jan
Yeah. That makes sense.
Blachowicz
I'm thinking. Yeah. I heard
and
something.
Magomed
I could be wrong.
Ankalaev
Say it again. I'm sorry.
both went to the draw.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like, there has to be there's a UFC. I think I'm pretty sure there's a. I didn't know if it was this pay-per-view, the next one, but I'm like, there's pretty sure there's a light heavyweight, like a vacant title somewhere in some division. But I'm like, I know Islam won the vacant a while back against. Is it? He
Charles.
won, Islam against you?
It was against Charles Oliveira
I was
at
Oliveira. That's what I was thinking.
UFC
And
280.
then
That was the last vacant.
yeah, and then I'm thinking, no, that can't be it. But I'm pretty sure. I was like, yeah, there. Hold on, there is a vacant title still. I mean, who is it? Curtis Blades is in that one, right? Am I wrong?
Um, on
The light
what
heavy
about it? Light heavyweight, Yuri
Erie.
won it.
That's right. What do you think about that fight? I mean, anything stick out in that fight to you?
Well, Yuri had to vacate his belt because of the shoulder surgery that he has to deal with. So it's
Oh yeah,
between Glover Teixeira and Jamal Hill.
yeah. I'm pretty excited for that one too. I mean, um, I'm just super excited to be watching that fight. In all honesty, I mean, you got a vacant title on the line, and then, um, man, I'm just excited to see that fight. In all honesty, I mean, after the Glover Teixeira fight,
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in this game for a while now, and the fact that he's still like up there, just killing it. He's up there for a title shot. I mean, he's got that
Yeah.
power too, and striking and grappling. He's got it all still, I think. He's still at the top of his game, I think, still a little bit.
Yeah, he still says he's in his prime. And he's 43.
43 and he's fighting for a title. So crazy. I mean, you don't hear much of 40 plus year olds in any professional sport. The only other 40 plus year old athlete I could think of is Tom Brady. That's about it. That's the only other 40 somewhat year old who's still like still slinging it and doing their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Glover, I think he has a chance of winning it, I think, in all honesty.
Yeah, I would pick him to win, but like I looked on the UFC website and it looks like on the betting favorites is that Hill is the betting favorite to win
Oh,
against
really?
Glover. Yeah.
That's crazy. I would have thought Glover would be the favorite. That's so
He's won the
crazy.
title too.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
Glover.
yeah, huh. That's so crazy that Clover's not favored to win. That's so crazy. But I think I'm still picking. I think if I was a betting man, I think my money would be on Glover to win it, I think.
Yeah, me too. I pick Glover. No
It,
offense to Jamal Hill.
no, Jamal Hill, no. I mean, who do you think it's going to go to the judges? Is it going to be a knockout? Is it going to be a submission? How do you think it's going to be won?
I think it'd be submission. I'm picking either round two or round three.
Yeah, middle round. I was either going to think knockout or submission too. I mean, I know there's no way. I don't think it's going to go to the judges. I think, for a light heavyweight, I think with those two, I don't see it really going to, you know, I don't see it going the distance. Is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I think I could see a submission from Glover tapping Jamal Hill out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's realistic. I could see that. If he doesn't tap him, I could see a knockout and probably the middle round too, somewhere in there. If he doesn't tap him, it's going to be an early to mid knockout from Glover.
And this is in Brazil, so Glover is from Brazil, so I feel like the home crowd will be behind Glover as
Yeah, for
well.
sure. I can see that more certainly for sure. Um, for the gosh, this next fight we're going to talk about is pretty exciting too. I think the co-main event, the main event, excuse me, with Brandon Moreno's. I mean, this guy is pretty exciting to watch, I think. What do you think? I think he's super exciting to watch anytime he comes onto the screen.
Yeah, Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo 4. I think this is the first ever fourth fight in the UFC between the two. I like out of every like rivalry, should I say? Because like usually it stops after a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
But the first fight ended up in a draw. Second fight, Brandon Moreno won by submission, and then Davison Figueiredo won off of a split decision, which I think Moreno won the trilogy fight, to be honest. And
Yeah.
now they're going to a fourth fight. And I think it's the co-main. I don't think it's the main event. I think it's the
That's right. I think I
co-main.
got it mixed up. I think I'm sorry about that.
You're good.
I think I was gonna say, I think that's kind of crazy that there's gonna be excuse me, a fourth fight. I mean, do you think there's been talks about fourth fights before? I mean, the only other fourth fight I could think of is Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. Because
Yeah,
I
there were
think
rumors about that.
yeah, I mean, because on unfortunately what happened to Connor with his leg injury, I think there was already talks about a fourth fight, but um one thing that'd be a crazy fight too to have, but I don't know. I mean, I remember whenever back in May of 2022, I remember whenever Michael Chandler tapped out Charles Oliveira. No, sorry, knocked him out, excuse me. He called out Connor in his post-fight interview. He talks like if
Oh,
Dana
you mean when Michael Chandler knocked out Tony Ferguson?
Tony Ferguson. I always get those two confused. I don't know why. I can see their faces in my head, but I always get their name mixed up. Tony Ferguson. I still to this day I get those two mixed up. I don't know why. Uh, yeah. So and he's like talking about how Dana White and one of his, I guess, someone else, like if they have a lap of Zasman or something like that. He goes, I got one. I got that legendary. He goes, I got one man on my mind. That's like Conor McGregor, blah blah blah. And I still watch that from time to time, like every once in a while. That's that post-fight interview with Joe Rogan just gets me like hyped. I don't know why. That's one of the best like mic skills, if that makes any sense. Like he's got to be the one of the best talkers I think in UFC when post-fight interviews. He just called
Yeah,
out
that's
Conor.
pretty
He
epic.
yeah, I mean he wins a match with a head kick too. Knocks out Tony Ferguson and pretty much says talks about a rematch between Dustin or Justin Gaethje, and then he goes out and calls out Conor McGregor. I'm like at 170. I mean, that's so crazy. I mean, if to play, I guess to play, put your, I guess, pretend Matt's making game one. Would you want Justin Gaethje? No, excuse me, Michael Chandler versus Conor, or would you want Justin Gaethje or Dustin versus Michael?
There has been mhm, like rumors that Michael Chandler is the runner-up to fight Conor McGregor when Conor does return back to the octagon.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool fight, honestly. I wouldn't mind watching that.
Yeah, main event and everything.
Yeah,
Easy
like
tops.
yeah. Which is that going three to or 5 rounds? You think in a main event fight?
Well, in the main event fight, it's usually five.
Yeah, and then that'd be so crazy to watch. Oh gosh, Connor and Michael. I think even I even think Michael and Justin Gates. I think Michael versus like a top competitor or challenger. I think that'd be a pretty great fight. I think to watch.
Oh yeah.
Michael's been Michael's been doing it crazy too ever since his days at Bellator. He's just been running things. It seems like pretty much. I could be wrong in saying that, but I think in that division, that 170 division, he's been crazy. I think a little bit. But yeah, but he kind of got away. I'm sorry, but the main co-main event, Brandon Moreno's, um, that's a pretty another good fight too. Like I said, a fourth fight coming up. Um, who's winning that, and how are they winning?
I hope Brandon Moreno wins. I'm going for Brandon Moreno. I think he's the betting favorite too. I just think he's the better flyweight fighter than Davison Figueiredo, in my honest opinion. And I got Moreno winning by a body kick to the liver, like he did to Kai Kara France.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I remember that. When you said that, I think I got Brandon winning for sure too. Um, I think he's just it feels like he's one of those young guys who just come on the scene and just got a lot of legit like real hype behind him. I think, and it feels like he's got one of those things like how Connor was when he first started. He's got somewhat that same hype, but for different. I guess he's going out there. He just goes out there, and you can tell people just naturally love him. Like they want him to win every time he goes out there. He puts on a show. It seems like. So, I think I think Brandon's going to win for sure. I could see that happening too. So, I mean, I got some crazy fights in this main card too. I'm pretty stoked about.
Oh, there's one fight that's also a non-title fight, and that's Gilbert Burns. He's back
Yeah, Gilbert
fighting
Burns.
Neil Magny.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to that fight?
Just Gilbert Burns putting the pressure on Neil Magny. Burns is fast, man, and like his striking is on point. He gave Chimaev a run for his money too.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he really did. Gilbert Burns has been one of the guys who's been just amazing to watch, I think, too.
Yes.
I mean, so you think you got Gilbert Burns winning this next fight, this non-title fight?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Is he going the distance?
Well, it's a 3 round fight. Maybe it goes to the distance, or maybe it'll be a first round KO.
Yeah. There's a lot of great fights this weekend. I'm looking forward to watch, you know. I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. I mean, is there anything like on this main card or prelims that you're like just I know we kind of ran through them all, but is there anything in particular you just like people should check out?
I can't think of any other ones to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I think kind of off topic. It's about UFC. It's UFC related, but I think I don't know if you sent me to or I don't remember because we send each other a lot of stuff every time we hear UFC's news or anything like that. We always talk about it, but I don't know if I heard it from you or someone else talking about Bo Nickel coming back. And I remember,
Um, mm,
I'm
I
not
don't
sure. I felt
remember
like I heard that somewhere. I don't know if it was
talking
from
about
you
that
or
one.
can I say that again? I'm sorry.
I don't remember talking about that one. I think it might have been from someone else, but
Yeah,
I'd be hyped for Bo Nickel to come
yeah. I think I
and
may
fight
have
for the
heard that
first
from.
time.
Yeah, I was thinking like it was either from you or watching Ariel Helwani. So, um, I think he said something along the lines of Ariel coming back. No, sorry, Ariel said something along the lines of Bo Nickel coming back. I had those backwards. Sorry, I'm only slightly massively dyslexic. But
You're good.
sorry. So what was I gonna say? Uh, but yeah, I think he said something along the lines of like Bo coming back sometime this year. I think, and having a fight, you know, I'm just excited to see Bo back, you know, because like I said, I was in high school wrestling. I know, and he was in college wrestling when I was doing his this reign of dominance was just, you know, at his peak of its powers, you know, and I'm getting excited to watch Bo Nickel. I mean, I know he was in the Dana White Contender Series, I believe, right? Contender Series?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, did you watch any of his fights at all or no?
I watched the last one where he
Yeah.
got the contract.
Yeah. Did you see anything from Bo that you really liked that really stood out to you?
His grappling is just on point, man. I
Yeah.
feel like him and that other newcomer, Roses,
Yeah.
Raul Roses, who already made his debut.
Yeah. Those are two great fighters. I'm really looking forward to see like really like make a big impact in this UFC game, you know. It feels like Bo and Roses, I think they really can be big names in this UFC game. They're really big names in the wrestling world. Um, I'm only excited to see what they do in UFC. You know, we saw Nickel and Roses do it in the Contender Series. You know, what I'm looking for. I remember whenever Bo got dismissed in the first round. You know, in the Contender Series. I'm like, dude, this guy. I didn't know he had submission. I know he had wrestling, and grappling, but I didn't know he had like submission game was on point. It looked like. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. I'm looking forward to those fights. Who would you? Is there anybody you would give Bo Nickel? Who would you give Bo Nichols and Roses as their first fights in their UFC debut?
Maybe Jamie Pickett.
Jamie Pickett.
There's
Yeah,
been rumors about that guy being the next fight for Bo Nickel, or the first fight.
yeah. That'd be a pretty cool fight to watch Bo Nickel and him fight, and pretty exciting. Hopefully, it goes to the ground. We'll see what happens. You know, it's a lot of wrestling and grappling, so looking forward to that. Um,
Most likely will.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, is there anything else that like? It feels like we kind of went through a lot. Is there anything else that you've heard of that are that's pretty exciting?
We're in for a great fight night main events. Cheeto Vera will be fighting Corey Sandhagen in February.
Yeah,
And then what I sent you was Piotr Jan, which I thought
yeah.
he was done after the O'Malley fight, has agreed to fight Marab Del Swelly.
That's gonna be a good fight, I think, for Peter.
Get back in the win column.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's all you need is like after a fight against something like that, because Sugar Sean's amazing, and you know after that fight with I think Jan just needs of victory in the win column to help build that confidence back. You know, all it needs
Yes.
is one. All it needs is maybe one win, and you're back. Like you're just going back up. You know, your confidence is good, skyrocketing back up. It's all you need, and I'm pretty excited for that fight too. And Cheeto Vera. Obviously, it's Team Cheeto all every day, all day. You know.
Yeah. If he beats Corey Sandhagen, you have no choice but to give him a title shot against Aljamain. That's if Henry doesn't fight for the title.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
rumors
Most
about
definitely. I
that too.
think. Sorry, say what? Say that again. I'm sorry.
There were rumors about Henry Cejudo fighting Aljamain Sterling
Oh
as
yeah, I
well.
remember we. Oh yeah, I remember that. We were talking about that thing. Henry Cejudo getting back in the octagon. I mean, that would be so crazy if Henry and uh Cheeto Pharaoh go back and fight it. Go fight. You know,
Yeah,
that seems like it's such a weird matchup. Honestly, I don't know why. Yeah, we got a lot of fights coming up. I'm pretty stoked for. Gosh, it feels like there's so many possibilities for even greater fights too. So excited for them. Is there anything like any other big news, like any big UFC, MMA news, like you're looking forward to?
Well, next pay per view for UFC 284 in Australia.
Yeah, that'd be pretty epic. Cool. Well, I felt like we kind of went through a lot. Pretty excited for a lot of stuff, up and coming stuff too.
Yeah, 2023, baby. It's gonna be fun.
I know we're getting there. We're getting a lot of fights going on. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of fight. 2023 is going to be a great year, I think, for fighting. And then, yeah, Matt, thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Always, I enjoy it. Can't wait for UFC 284 and talk about it with you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this whole year we're going to be talking about, or as long as we can, we're going to be talking about UFC stuff. You know, I'm always stoked to gotta have you on to talk about UFC stuff right before our pay-per-view. Like I said, thank you for coming on, Matt, and thank you to everybody listening out there. Hope you have a great weekend, great rest of y'all's day, and Matt, thank you once again, bud.
Thank you so much. Stay
Yes,
blessed,
sir.
brother.
See you, man.
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check.